What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about arguably the greatest wide receiver in the NFL's history, Randy Moss. Some of us have probably heard the phrase, "you've been mossed." In case you're not familiar with it, Randy Moss was the player behind it. Moss was a player that defenses would plan for, and even in triple coverage, he was able to make opposing players look silly. The man with the NFL single-season touchdown reception record, 23 in 2007, as well as the NFL single-season touchdown reception record for a rookie, 17 in 1998. Incredible, right? So if you want to know why he is regarded as one of the greatest wide receivers in the NFL, or what made him so special, stick around because we're about to find out how good Randy Moss really was. But before we start, make sure you're not missing out on the latest and greatest in the world of gridiron battles. Hit that subscribe button below and turn on your notification button so you'll always be in the loop with our football deep dives, heated debates, and all things NFL. So hit that subscribe button now. Randy Gene Moss was born on February 13th, 1977 in Rand, West Virginia. From early on, it was obvious that Randy Moss was special. He attended DuPont High School in West Virginia, where he starred in football, basketball, baseball, and even track events. But in 1992 and 1993, he carried his high school football team to back-to-back state championships. He not only caught passes as a star wide receiver, but also played safety sometimes, also as a kickoff and punt returner, and even served as the team's kicker and punter. He won the Kennedy Award, which was given to the best player in West Virginia, and that was the start of his fantastic career. He joined Notre Dame College, but things went downhill. He faced jail time for violent misdemeanors and marijuana possession, but he was back on his feet as his talent couldn't be overlooked. He joined Marshall University in West Virginia. At Marshall University, Moss was regarded as one of the best high school players of all time. You know what that means. Moss played at Marshall for 2 years that saw him break every record there was to be broken. In 1996, he led his team to an undefeated season and a championship while setting records for touchdown catches and receiving yards by a freshman. His outstanding performance continued in 1997, earning him the prestigious Biletnikoff Award and a fourth-place finish in the Heisman Trophy race. Moss concluded his college career with a touchdown catch in each of the 28 games he played. Now you've seen how he earned himself the status as one of the best high school players of all time. In the 1998 NFL Draft, Moss skipped his junior and senior seasons at Marshall and entered the NFL Draft. Randy Moss was one of the most talked about players in the class, not only because of his obvious game-changing ability, but also because of his off-the-field issues, which were a concern to many teams. Because of that, pick after pick, and Moss was yet to be taken. Moss was a lifelong Cowboys fan and felt disappointed that he was not picked by his boyhood club. With the 21st pick of the 1998 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings selected Randy Moss, and they would not go on to regret it. The Minnesota Vikings already had one of the best wide receivers in the league, Chris Carter. Partnering him up with Moss made it one of the most explosive wide receiver duos in NFL history. In his first game, which came against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Moss had 4 catches for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. In no time, Randy Moss had his Monday Night Football debut as the Minnesota Vikings traveled to Lambeau Field to take on their rival, the Green Bay Packers. As expected, he put on a show, exploding for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. If it wasn't obvious enough already, Randy Moss was a superstar. In just 5 games to start his NFL career, Moss racked up 463 yards and 6 touchdowns. At the end of the 1998 regular season, Moss was named to the Pro Bowl, earned first-team All-Pro honors, which was unheard of as a rookie, and won NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year for his rookie record and league-leading 17 touchdown receptions and the third highest receiving yards, which was 1,313 total. As a rookie, he finished third in voting for MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. In the following season, Moss had another impressive season, catching 80 passes for 1,413 yards and 11 touchdowns, including a punt return for a touchdown. He went on to record 5 receptions for 127 yards and a touchdown in the Vikings' 27-10 NFC wildcard round playoff win over the Dallas Cowboys. But something happened in that season. Guess what? Another controversy. Moss was fined $40,000, which was later reduced to $25,000 during that game due to squirting an NFL referee with a water bottle. In the 2000 season, for the second time in 3 seasons, Moss punished the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day, including a spectacular second-half touchdown in which Moss caught the ball with his entire body out of bounds, aside from his toes. The play would be the feature shot in NFL commercial for years. He became the youngest and fastest player to ever catch over 3,000 yards and 45 touchdowns, which was another record for the books. In his first 3 seasons in the league, Moss was selected to the Pro Bowl all 3 years, as well as earning 2 first-team All-Pro honors. The Hall of Fame career was well and truly underway. In the 2001 season, Moss grabbed the bag as his contract was extended to an 8-year, $75 million contract extension. The extension included a $10 million signing bonus and another $8 million in guarantees. He wanted to become the highest paid player in the NFL. Even though he wasn't the highest paid player, his 8-year, $75 million deal was a huge amount in any part of the world. That season, Moss had a 4th consecutive season with over 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns, but failed to make the Pro Bowl for the first time in his career. Moss returned to dominance in the 2003 season, putting up record-breaking numbers and earning accolades for his exceptional play. He became the second receiver ever to play over 12 games and averaged over 100 yards and a touchdown per game. He finished with 111 receptions for 1,632 yards and 17 touchdowns. After 7 years in Minnesota, Moss felt that a change was needed. It was time for a new adventure. He was traded to the Oakland Raiders, who needed a spark. The trade didn't have the desired effect, though. Moss continued to struggle with injuries during his first season. His next season with the Raiders became a nightmare. In the 2006 season, Moss faced extreme frustration and disappointment as the Raiders struggled to find success on the field. Moss was unhappy, and in just a matter of days, he was on a flight to Boston to join the New England Patriots. Moss's arrival in New England marked a turning point in his career, as he teamed up with quarterback Tom Brady to rewrite the record books and lead the Patriots to unprecedented success. The idea of Tom Brady having a weapon like Randy Moss was scary, and the hunt for a Super Bowl ring was on. Every fan was excited to see the Brady-Moss connection. At the end of the season, he got his 6th Pro Bowl selection and earned first-team All-Pro honors for the 4th time. Moss ended the season with 98 catches for 1,493 yards and 23 touchdown receptions, breaking Jerry Rice's previous NFL record of 22, a record that still stands. Brady and Moss pushed the Patriots to end the regular season with a perfect 16-0 record, and they scored an incredible 589 points, which was an NFL record at the time. But unfortunately, when the Super Bowl came around, the moment Moss had been waiting for his entire life, a final 2-minute drive by Eli Manning and the New York Giants ended what would have been a truly historic season. Despite his record-breaking 2007 season, Moss was relatively quiet in the playoffs, going 2 consecutive games without a touchdown for the first time all season. In the 2008 season, he signed a 3-year, $27 million deal with the Patriots. The contract included a $12 million signing bonus and a total of $14.1 million guaranteed. That season, Moss hauled in 69 catches for 1,008 yards and 11 touchdowns despite losing Tom Brady in the first game of the season. Then, in 2009, Brady and Moss picked up right where they left off. In the season opener, Moss caught a career-high 12 passes for 141 yards and a comeback 25-24 victory over the Buffalo Bills. In that season, Randy Moss went for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns to move him ahead of Terrell Owens in second place for all-time receiving touchdowns. The game also saw Moss become just the 11th player in NFL history with 900 plus receptions and the 7th player to reach 14,000 career receiving yards. He finished the season with 83 receptions for 1,264 yards and, for the 5th time, led the league in touchdown receptions with 13. In 2010, after just 4 games into the new season, Moss was traded back to the Minnesota Vikings, but a dream scenario quickly turned into a nightmare and Moss was waived just 3 weeks into his Vikings return. Moss was claimed off waivers by the Tennessee Titans, the only team to submit a claim in November 2010. Moss finished the 2010 season with 28 receptions and receiving yards of 393. The Titans decided not to keep Moss and he sat out for the 2011 season, and he became a free agent. With that, his career days were numbered. In August 2011, Moss's agent announced Moss's decision to retire from professional football. But in a shocking return, Moss announced on his 35th birthday that he was coming out of retirement and was ready to play again. He signed for the San Francisco 49ers and ended the regular season with 28 catches for 434 yards and 3 touchdowns. Randy Moss's final game would be the Super Bowl, where he had 2 receptions for 41 yards in a 31-34 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. What a story that could have been if he had won the Super Bowl. Moss ended his career with 982 receptions, 15,292 yards, and 156 touchdowns. Randy Moss is without a doubt one of the greatest football players ever from his college days. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2018. You have to be incredibly good before you get into the Hall of Fame. That's how good Randy Moss was. Thanks for watching this video to the exciting end, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button if you haven't already, of course. Watch out for our next video. You won't want to miss this one, guys. Later.